I'm going to answer the 4 most commonly asked questions that I get about owning a Tesla in Hawaii coming up next. Hey, what's going on, friends? This week, I'm going to talk about the 4 most commonly asked questions I get about owning a Tesla. And so I have a Tesla Model 3 standard range, very basic, had it since 2020, December of 2020. So it's been 2 full years now and couldn't be happier. But I commonly get asked questions about owning a Tesla. How did I get it here? And so that's the first question I'm going to answer is, it's the best car buying experience ever. You go on your app, you pick out what you want, the color, the style, the wheels, what kind of financing you want, and you basically order it. And I was lucky at the time when I did this because it was at the end of 2020 and there was still a lot of availability of the cars. Right now, it could take you 6+ months to order one and actually get one. But I ordered it the day after Thanksgiving. It got here between Christmas and New Year's. It took about a month to get here from when I ordered it. So what happens is they ship it from, I believe, California, and there's a Tesla dealership in Oahu, and that's where they receive it, and then you can pay some extra money and a company will pick it up from there and they will ship it to you on an outer island. So you cannot receive it directly on an outer island. You do have to receive it at the Tesla dealership in Oahu. Some people do just fly to Oahu and receive it and then drive it to the docks and then ship it over. So you do have an additional shipping cost of about $400 or $500 depending on what it is inner island after it gets here to Hawaii. So that's pretty much how you get it. You go down, you pick it up the dock, and then you're good to go. So the second question I'm going to talk about, people always ask me, is how do I charge it? And that is something that probably is a little bit more limited here on the islands. Like most big cities, we don't have a ton of charging stations all over the place. There's limited charging stations at some shopping centers and Target. But for the most part, if you're going to own a Tesla in Hawaii, I would definitely recommend installing a charging station at your house. If you look over here, this white thing is a charging station that an electrician just installed and tapped right into my electrical system, and that gives me about 35 miles an hour to charge. So charges pretty quickly. Come home in the afternoon, I charge it like once every few days and I get a full charge in a few hours. You can plug directly into a 220 outlet that, maybe in your garage, if you have a dryer outlet, you can plug into it. I do that when I go to the other side of the island because I want to have enough charge to come back. I'll do that at one of my family's houses. Is I'll plug into the dryer outlet and get some charge there. You can plug into a regular 110 outlet, but you get like 4 miles an hour, very, very slow charging. So that's not ideal when you want to get a full charge quickly. So I would definitely recommend getting a charger at your house. It's going to be the best and most convenient way to charge on a regular basis. If you live in a condo, that may be more challenging, so it's something to consider. Third question is, how far can you go? Right? People always ask, well, aren't you worried about running out of a charge? And my response always is, have you ever run out of gas? I mean, you just look at how much charge you have and you don't go further than what you have. And for the most part, the standard range, you get about 260 miles on one charge. You can get the extended range, which gets about 350, I think. And so if you're really concerned about going a far distance, you can, but this is an island. I don't usually drive more than 30 to 50 miles a day. So very rarely do I even have to charge every single day. It's every like 3rd day or maybe every 5th day is when I actually charge. So it's never really a big concern. The only time it's a real concern is if you're going to the other side of the island and back in the same day. If you have a standard range, you may want to stop and get a charge somewhere there at a charging station or at a friend's or family's house before you come back to make sure that you don't cut it close, because you would be cutting it pretty close if you try to go to the other island and back in the same, or the other side of the island and back in the same day. So just something to consider. But for the most part, you can go as far as you're ever going to go on the island. You're not going to go on long interstate trips or anything like that. So there's plenty of charge on a standard range like this. And then the last one is, do I enjoy it? Would I do it again? Right? And the answer absolutely is yes. I will never buy a gas car again for a couple of different reasons. First one is gas, right? Obviously, gas prices have been crazy. They're always high here in Hawaii, and I save a ton of money on gas. I have solar on my house, so that helps with the cost of charging, but I save a ton of money not having to pay $5+ a gallon for gas. It's super nice not even knowing what gas costs. I don't even have to care anymore. The other big one is zero maintenance. So 2 years I've owned this car and no one has ever touched it. There's never been any type of maintenance. There's obviously been no issues, so there hasn't been any maintenance, but there is no regular maintenance. There's no oil changes or anything like that. The only thing you really have to do is put windshield wiper fluid into the tank in the front of the car, so when you want to clean your windshield, the water comes out. But everything else, extremely low maintenance, and that's another huge cost of ownership reduction from a regular car. Even if you buy a brand new car, you still have regular maintenance that you got to do. So definitely love that about it. It's been nothing but reliable. It's a joy to drive. It drives itself half the time when you put it on autopilot. So for me, definitely highly recommended. I've actually sold a ton of Teslas to my friends because they see mine and then they ask a bunch of questions, and then I convince them that it's a good idea. So I really should be getting a commission from Elon on Teslas. But overall, cost of ownership is super low, and the cost of the vehicle is relatively low. These Model 3s are $40,000 to $45,000. That's less than any type of kind of, you know, mid to luxury sedan out there. You're gonna pay almost the same or less as you would, definitely less than a BMW or a Mercedes or an Audi or anything like that. So definitely a good economical decision and super easy to drive and super convenient. But if you have any other questions about owning a Tesla in Hawaii, happy to answer them. Dylan@buyabigallon.com. You can book a meeting in the link below or reach out in the comments and I'll get back to you. See you guys next week. Aloha.